Hey guys, Odd here. I've been waiting for the perfect movie to come out so I could begin my series here on YouTube reviewing movies. And I thought, what better way than to start off with the box office success, The Joker. I know I'm pretty late here, and I know it's been a couple weeks. There's probably been many YouTubers who've already showed their reviews, their spoilers, and what they believe the future of the Joker franchise is going to be. But I tried my best to come up with a review as soon as I saw the movie. And yeah, there is going to be spoilers in this review in the last half of it, but I'll go ahead and let y'all know before the spoilers begin. So, with no further ado, let's get into the review. This film is basically an origin story of the fan favorite Joker, and an origin story unlike any other. It follows the protagonist Arthur Fleck, who is a clown for hire and is also forced to face the decaying society of Gotham City. Joaquin Phoenix is the lead in this film and the one who's chosen to take the helm of the Joker. He's honestly done an amazing job in this film, and it's almost indistinguishable between who Arthur Fleck and Joaquin Phoenix is, which doesn't really come as much as a surprise when you see Joaquin Phoenix's other works such as The Master, Walk the Line, and I'm Still Here. These movies really show how Phoenix does become the role that he's portraying and how much he can shine as an actor. I really recommend these movies if you really want to see how good Joaquin Phoenix can act. He really becomes the roles in these movies, and they're easy recommends. The Gotham setting in this film is very reminiscent to the graphic novel Year One by Frank Miller. Phoenix's Joker fits perfectly well in this dark, gritty setting of Gotham, and I don't think it probably would have been as good if he wasn't in this setting. And he honestly is probably one of my favorite renditions of the Joker. And yes, that does include Heath Ledger's Joker. And I know I'm going to get flocked for it, but I do believe he did do an amazing job, and I don't think anybody could have done as well. But they're both Jokers of different times, and it's really hard to compare, but I do believe that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is probably by far one of my favorite Jokers. That doesn't include this other travesty. Speaking of travesties, I did hear that Jared Leto had some controversy with the Joker movie. Supposedly he was trying to tank the movie before it even emerged, which I do understand with the magnitude that the character Joker has and how he would feel jealous. But let's be honest, his Joker was probably by far one of the worst Joker renditions in the entire Marvel universe. His rendition of Joker was by far the worst rendition of Joker in the entire DC cinematic universe. And I know it's probably not his fault because it's the studio's decision on the costume design and the character, but he had incredibly little to work with if that's the case. His Joker was honestly horrid. I hated it so much. And I do believe that he was probably jealous because of not having his own solo movie, but I'm glad that it was this case and he didn't tank the movie because Joaquin's did amazing in this movie. Absolutely amazing. This film was amazing and by far one of the best films to come out this year. It was easily a 10 out of 10 and probably by far one of my top 10 superhero movies I've ever seen in my life. It's honestly so well made. The movie flows so well. It doesn't even feel like a superhero movie. It's up there with like Dark Knight Returns, Unbreakable. Like, this movie is going to be forever on the top list because of the acting and the portrayals. Honestly, this is an easy recommend, 10 out of 10. Now, time for the spoilers. To start off, I want to say that the Joker's laugh as an ailment was probably one of the best additions to the character ever since the cuts to Joker's lips was added. It's honestly one of the best things I've seen in this movie, and I love the way it complements the character, how it shows his metamorphosis from believing that the laugh was an ailment to just wholly taking in the laugh and making it himself. The costume design in this movie was absolutely amazing. I loved when Joker first put on his makeup. It was a sight to behold, to say the least. Throughout the movie, all the costumes, everything worked so well in portraying their characters, but the Joker's makeup was something to behold. Especially in the scene with the train chase at the end when he's walking away, his face is almost like it's like wearing away, and it just sets up the scene so well. His Joker is honestly crazy to look at, and I love to see it on the big screen. That's absolutely amazing. Look at that. That's Joker right there. But let's not forget the bloody paint scene at the end. Now that's good movie. I know there was one scene that's stuck in our head that we can't seem to forget. No, not that scene. This one. When I first saw the scene, I couldn't think of anything other than that one scene in Dark Knight Returns.
And our special guest, the Clown Prince of Crime, Joker.
Yeah, that one. I know it's a little bit off and different, but the setup just seems like very reminiscent to that scene. But seeing the almost full-fledged Joker on air was a sight to behold. I wasn't expecting for that much carnage to happen in the movie, but I'm glad it did because it really brought the character as a whole. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of theories that I heard and just kind of like make sense of them. First off, I heard that people were saying that the last broadcast scene with the Joker was all in his head and it wasn't real. But if you really pay attention throughout the movie, Joker has a signature dance that as the movie progresses, he becomes more in tune with it and more fluid. This, I believe, is a metaphor, and it shows how how Arthur Fleck is becoming more of the Joker and becoming more of himself. That's why at the end of the movie, he kind of accepts what's happened to him in his past and is like, oh, I'm no longer crazy, and kind of just becomes himself as a whole. I mean, let's not say that that dance scene wasn't great. That was a great scene. Oh, well, there was another theory that I really thought had some weight to it. Supposedly, they're saying that in the final scene where Arthur Fleck is in the mental institution, he's laughing and he's thinking about a joke. So I believe that in this scene, he was actually thinking about Batman because it does seem as though it's in the future. He has longer hair, stubble. He seems more chunkier. I believe in this scene, he's reminiscing about that old time when he was at the riot. And during that time, Batman had got killed and his parents died. I believe in that scene, he realized who Batman was and that he was Bruce Wayne. Because if you really think about it, Joker, in any comic, in all the comics, should know who Batman is. Batman and Joker are basically the same. They're two souls that need each other. So Joker should know. He just doesn't want to because he has so much fun with Batman. And in that scene, he says, you wouldn't get it because obviously she wouldn't understand. But Joker just had a real moment of realization where he found out who Batman was. Now, will we ever see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker ever again? I don't know. But they could easily tie in a specific doctor in Arkham Asylum. Or if they really wanted to, they could use Robert Pattinson's Batman, which we do know is taking inspiration from A Long Halloween. And A Long Halloween does take place in an older timeline. So it could be an easy merge between these two characters. Now, if they were to ever do a joint picture together, I would really love them to take inspiration from Joker's A Last Laugh. Now, in this comic, it does portray a lot of how Joker and Batman's dynamic really works together. And even in the last scene of the comics, there's a specific scene where Joker tells a joke and Batman laughs. And it shows a lot of humanistic and relatable aspects between the both of them. Because basically, Joker and Batman, as we all know, are basically two pieces of a puzzle. So I'd really love to see this on the big screen. And I feel like no one would do it better than Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Because Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is so relatable and captures so much human emotion in it. And I feel as though the animated movie fell kind of short of that because it was missing a lot of human aspects of it. So the live action would be amazing with Joaquin Phoenix and Robert Pattinson's Joker. Especially that last scene. That'd be amazing to see.
Oh, excuse me.
Now, that's it for it today. And if you guys really want to help me out, you can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe on the video. Let me know how I did in the comment section. Let me know your theories. Let me know how you felt about it. Let me know what you want to see. And I'll go ahead and look at it, reply to it, whatever I can. And until next time, guys, thank you all for watching. I'll catch you later.